My lovely genius brain farts. This podcast is brought to you by Fume. What is Fume, you ask? Fume. It's an award-winning flavored air device that gives you a better way to break your bad habits. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing and anxiety while breaking your bad habit, my friends. And I'm talking about I use this in the car and I start clicking away and puffing at that thing and it helps me de-stress. I love it. Start the holidays off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/genius and getting the journey pack today. Fume is giving listeners of the show 10% off when they use my code GENIUS to help make starting the good habit that much easier. Start the good habit at tryfume.com/genius to save 10% off the journey pack today. My lovely genius brain farts. This podcast is brought to you by Mint Mobile. Give yourself the gift of insane savings this holiday season with Mint Mobile's best wireless deal of the year. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months for free. Ooh, I'm not playing around, and think about all the stuff you could do with those savings, like buy that hot data, a meal outside of just those quick fast food joints. Ooh, you gonna look good, and maybe guess what? She might give you a little something after, or who knows? By selling online and limiting the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings onto you. So for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 months for free by going to mintmobile.com/genius15. That's mintmobile.com/genius15. New customers only. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Yeah,
My
he was
family's
cool.
here.
Luckily, he was cool as hell.
We don't trust none of that stuff. We was in Africa, the blackest place I ever been. I don't trust this shit. We walking with our friend.
Cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. We of course already have the Dormtainment boys here today, minus a few members. But if you checked out on the last podcast, we were talking a lot about traveling and stuff like that. But one of the fun things that people do when they travel, what I found out was they'll go on like Hinge and shit, and they have that internationally. Yeah. So when my friends would go to like Japan or Asia or Europe, they would just open up the dating app, and they said it's the most fun thing on earth because they want to date like foreign people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done like a trip to like Europe and stuff too?
Yeah. We went to Greece.
Yeah.
Ooh, how was that?
One of the most beautiful places I've
Absolutely.
been.
It looks like a painting.
But it also was during the pandemic. So
sure.
the first 3 days we got there, like all the nightlife was shut down, and then the last like 3 days it opened up. So
Yeah, but it was.
How many countries have you guys been to so far?
been through Africa too. I'm trying to think.
Damn, you guys traveled that much.
Okay,
Trying to
we
think.
could just
Like,
name it. Okay,
like,
let's
it's
start.
a
Let's
passion
start.
of mine. Like,
We're
I'm
not talking
really-
about layovers.
And we're late bloomers too. to
Yeah, that's what I'm
traveling,
saying. This
so-
kind of like this onset of traveling happened later in life for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to, we can go through and I can tell you layovers too.
Okay.
So Greece layover was in London. Cool. Next was Senegal. Layover
Paris.
was in Paris. And and then we came back. Next was headed to Tanzania. The layover was in Amsterdam. And we had two. And so, that was San Fran. So that okay. It was Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Then we went from Tanzania to Egypt, but the layover. So Egypt.
What? Right quick. Amsterdam. Random story. So we're in the lounge and we're just chilling. Rome goes to take a shower. So I'm just chilling out there.
That sounds so bougie.
I know.
Ian's taking a shower in the lounge. I'm just chilling on my computer. Rome said, "Where you at?" I tell him. So I'm back on my computer, and then Rome's like, "Yo, Cam." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Look up." I look up, and I'm talking about if I'm sitting right here, literally right here, Louis C.K. is staring me right in my eye.
Get the fuck out of here.
Louis C.K. is standing right in front of
Amsterdam.
me and looking at me. So now I'm looking at him because I'm like confused, like Louis C.K. And he's just looking at me, and then he's looking. We're looking. Then he just walks off, and I'm like,
What
was that about?
It was so fucking random.
What the hell?
and he just walked off. And I still to this day, like, I don't know what that was
Do
about.
you know me or have you met?
Are you
Maybe it was
okay?
like the Japanese lady thought you knew me.
He was like, you know me.
It's like, I was
Like,
jacking
I
off
do
you in the
know you.
hotel, and I kept you in that corner. And I was just,
Like, I do know you, but I don't know you.
maybe he sensed that you were American immediately.
I mean,
don't know.
it was a lot of
Because it was him, and then Rome was like standing right here. So I'm like,
I don't know what was going on. It was weird.
Damn, that's
weird.
random as
it was
fuck.
random as
So
hell.
we went to Tanzania.
In my bad, you know, this was like kind of after he got a little canceled, so you haven't seen him in
Yeah,
so
I hadn't
long.
seen him in a minute. Yeah.
So it was just random.
That's some odd timing.
It was very, very
We got
random.
canceled to another country. That's crazy.
Tanzania, we went to Ethiopia layover on the way to Egypt.
And I purposely picked that because I love Ethiopian food, wanted to have it there.
Egypt, hottest place we ever been to in our life.
Straight up desert.
We went in July. It was ridiculous.
My least favorite place we've been thus far.
Oh, Egypt.
Yeah.
Good for the pyramid.
Not like it's a terrible place to go, but out of everywhere I went.
You have a rating system of what you like.
The pyramids and seeing the mummy.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's really restrictive there.
Yeah.
Like, you have to sign in everywhere you go. Like, you got to go with a guide in most places. Like, when you go there, police, you sign in. They know your whereabouts. I guess that's how they keep you safe, but it was just, like, too restrictive for me. And then outside the pyramids in Cairo, at least. We only went to Cairo. We was only there for a couple of days. But outside of that, in the museum,
pyramids freak me the fuck out. Like,
when you see it in person, it's crazy.
Because it's just like, none of it makes sense to me.
It doesn't.
How did they do this?
Exactly. So logically, it doesn't make sense to me. There's dead people here. I don't understand.
And it's only the biggest one that we've seen in Cairo was built for one tomb. It was one tomb in there.
And then what you don't know, unless you're doing really research, that the wives are behind that big pyramid, and their pyramids are small, and it looks so funny.
That's so
like, I didn't want to laugh, but I had to laugh because I was just so shocked when the guy told us.
He was like, "This is for the king," and he was like, "Oh, and their wives."
And they look like,
when I die, keep that bitch away from
But yeah, I didn't want to go inside. I was I respect stuff like that. I don't want to go inside, but I had to touch it. It was like, that was on my bucket list to touch that. Like,
and then we went Egypt, Morocco layover. And then, but I forgot to say, when we were in Greece, we're coming back, we had a layover in Madrid.
Your passport must be fucking insane.
It's getting there.
Trying to.
And then we come back, and then next was Bali.
You forgot about Madrid.
That's
what happened in Madrid.
But
what happened in Madrid?
Oh,
I made a mistake.
Cam goofed this time.
And I was looking at, I thought the flight time was 12 hours. That was the layover. So I accidentally booked the flight with the layover in Madrid for 12 hours. And what made it even worse is we landed like at 1 in the morning.
Pandemic time.
So everything is like closed. And we was like, we'll do an in-airport hotel. But the only problem with that, it was outside the gate. It was right there.
Like right there.
But this is the pandemic. So we can't risk not being able to get back in without tests and all this.
So you just had to stay there?
So we had to stay there. So eventually we find this empty Burger King. We just going to sleep here. So I guess, I don't know, maybe an hour. And all of a sudden I feel a nudge, and the cleaner's like, we got to clean here. Y'all got to go. So we got kicked out the Burger King. We sleeping on the bench.
I thought you said we can have it our way. What the fuck going on?
Fucking tweeted that.
Y'all
You lied.
Where's the king?
Yeah.
So
so then we came back, and then the next was Bali, which the layover was in Korea, and then Bali, Thailand.
I'll tell you what happened in Korea. Korea airline made me mad, but I was so happy about the country. Let's let it slide. So I'm there, got my ticket. We in the lounge. Representative calls my phone, and I'm like, this is a Korean number. So hello? It was like, where are you right now? I'm like, who's this?
What?
Like, I'm out, and she told me, I'm a representative. I need to come talk to you. So I tell them in the lounge. So then they come to the lounge. She like, your ticket is not paid for. You mean? I got my ticket. Email confirmation. It is paid for. She like, yeah, but we don't charge you until, I forgot some silly stuff. Like, they don't charge you, they just reserve it, I guess, when you put. So I had to go check my bank account, and it really didn't charge me, which is on their end, but you think you paid because I got the email confirmation. I got all the paperwork with me. So luckily, I had the money on me, and I had to pay right then and there.
That would have been,
but that would have been bad.
Like if he would already spent the money, or anything.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I already did, so I was about to spend some money. So it was just like that made me mad, but it worked out.
And then Japan was the last place. I went to Belize for my birthday.
You did a little solo trip?
Yeah, I went to Belize.
Damn, I can't do solo trips, man.
And I did a solo trip before Japan. I went to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. I visited a friend, stayed with a friend, and that place is crazy.
What is it like doing solo trips, right? Because I can't do it. Like, I like traveling at least with one other person because I like experiencing things together with people. So sometimes, like, doing things on my own, it's cool, right? But it's just a little different when you just have one person.
I think you'll have to go for a long time. I think if you go for a solo trip, like, you could even do, like, I would say plan it if it's somewhere maybe you know somebody, and then take like maybe 2 days to yourself or something like that. You don't have to do the whole thing.
And that was me. When I went to Dubai, my homegirl stays in Abu Dhabi, so I landed in Dubai. I was there for like
who the fuck do you know in Abu Dhabi?
I know people everywhere.
What the
I know
fuck?
people everywhere.
You got hella kids everywhere too, don't you?
I got friends in all countries.
A bunch of cams walking around.
But what I did is like certain things I want to do. Like we were supposed to maybe skydive, but she actually wanted to save that money go on another trip, so we canceled that. But I wanted to do the desert, all the desert stuff in Dubai. So I booked a tour from the hotel. Buddy came and picked me up, and I told Rome like, "Hey, this is where I'm going. Just in case something happens. I'm going to the middle of the desert. Get to the desert. Luckily, it was a holiday. Nobody else there but me. So I had the whole trek. I put a reel of that. We did the sand dunes. We drove the 4x4s. I drove the dune buggies. Insane. Rode a camel. I don't like riding camels. They seem so sad. I hate when they ride a camel.
They just look like they got a bunch of attitude. That's why I don't like them, dude. And it was too much sass. Fucking the way they chew too.
But that's another city that's super clean and orderly. Like it's no homeless people there. You have to be working or you get deported.
Because like if you do, you just die. There's like real consequence. There's a guy who was like in Abu Dhabi or like Dubai, and he was like, "This is my Rolls Royce. I'm gonna leave my key fob on here and watch. I'm going to the gym. I come back, car's still here." And everybody who lives there, they're like, "Yeah, because if we stole it, we would have our hands chopped off. There's real consequences here."
My homegirl, so that stays in Abu Dhabi, she said one day she called me. She's like, "You won't believe what just happened." I'm like, "What?" She like, "I was coming back from a night out with friends. I'm walking. There was this guy kind of like out there, but you know, it's real safe in Abu Dhabi." So she at her building, and she said while she's walking to the thing, she looks back while she's going in the door. She speeds up because he's like getting closer. She closed the door, looks back, he's jerking off. So immediately she goes to security. She says, as soon as she told security, two took off running. Said, where? Took off running, and the other one started locating them on the camera. So eventually they found out where he stays. He stays in the other building, went there. He's either deported or in jail.
That's crazy.
They don't play.
Fuck around.
They don't play.
I guess you could say she was getting hijacked.
This motherfucker.
The Dubai Mall. The Dubai Mall is the biggest mall I've ever been to in my life.
Rome chased her down to tell the joke. Wait.
You getting hijacked? Get your ass out of here.
It was the biggest
you arrested?
mall. Yeah, it was the biggest mall I've ever been to. I got lost 3 times. It got to the point I just saw light and I said, I'm gonna exit here. So I can't find out. I can't find where I came in. I couldn't find where I came in. Like, and I'm great with directions. Too big of a mall.
I think the biggest thing we do when we travel, we make sure we do things. You know how some people travel and they just do like the very touristy thing. Like we did hot air balloon in over the Serengeti. We spent the night in the Serengeti. Like
that was wild.
Did all type like
in a tent.
That was crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know if like a hot air balloon. I'm scared of heights, like a motherfucker.
There was it's funny you say that.
Look, there was a lady. She'd been putting it off for 10 years. Her husband was like, "Come on," and she was just so nervous. She was in the basket behind it, so nervous. As soon as we got up there, she was like, "What was I scared of?"
It was so beautiful.
Because it's so
beautiful.
Peaceful.
It's peaceful
and calm. Like
you like, if I'm gonna go out here, I'm not even.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I got some of the worst luck on earth. Anything that can happen terrible has happened to me. I'm gonna be in that hot air balloon, and an eagle's gonna fly right through that bitch, and it's just gonna start falling down immediately, and then you're gonna see me on the fucking news. I already know. I'm just so scared. My palms are sweating right now.
So I shouldn't tell him about how it works.
Wait, how does it work?
So when we get up there, the dude flying, and he's like, we don't know where we're going to land yet. There's no way to control where we're going. He's like, I can go up, I can release it to come down, but we'll go where we go. So then he's going to find a landing spot. And the whole time, the trucks are following us. So, so when we decide, he's like, okay, we found a spot. We go land here. And when we land there, the truck's pulled up. Pop some champagne.
And he didn't want to land where, like, no crazy, because we're over the Serengeti. So he didn't want to land where lions are. So he found a little zebra patch. And
we flew over Pride Rock, though. It looks just like Pride Rock with all the lions.
All type of shit, elephants.
Why would you do this?
It was just so beautiful, though.
That is fucking crazy.
I'm doing it every chance I get.
If I was doing this and then my guide told me, I don't know where we are going to go, I would be so pissed at him. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Too late now.
I don't care.
It's too late.
It's just like
what makes it worse is he was an Australian white man, so he really could have taken us anywhere. All right, mate. Where we gonna land at?
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life, man.
Yeah, it was wild.
Well, you guys can be in a hot air balloon and look down and not freak the fuck out?
No, it was.
I skydive, so
it was that peaceful.
Like, why you skydive too, man? You could just die any second. You don't fucking know. Are you insane?
I saw a
skydive thing where the fucking lady's parachute didn't fucking deploy.
I mean, yeah,
and then
it can happen.
Oh, I saw this video. Skydiving plane, for some fucking reason, another plane crashed into the other plane.
They all survived though.
Shit.
I don't give a fuck.
Here's the thing. I was down to do it. Did I ever tell you the story about skydiving?
No.
Okay, so the way I did it, I always wanted to do it, but this was in college. So a homegirl said, hey, for my birthday, I'm inviting all my friends to skydive. She said 20 people said yes, showed up. So I was like, all right, bet. I'm in. I want to do this. Day of, 3 people show up. One of them is the birthday girl. And one of them's me, and one's Emmanuel. So then I'm like, and 4, sorry, and another guy. So I said, I'm doing this. I'm here. So we go. They give all the instructions. They say, this is the main parachute. If that don't go, here's the backup parachute. And they showing you what to do, everything. So then we get in the plane, and you're connected to a person. So we're all like a centipede. I'm sitting down, and the dude's sitting down. His legs are, because I'm basically attached to him. So then the people that jump by themselves, they go first. And I was like, I'm going first because I don't want to be this waiting and all the anxiety. So then we get to the edge of the door. He's like, all right, we're going to jump on 3. I'm going to count us down. I'm like, all right. So he does 1, 2. He jumps. I said, you son of a bitch. So we going down. It's like 10, 15 seconds. You just going. And then he pulls the chute. And as soon as he pulls the chute and you see it
That's
working,
all you waiting on.
You just feel at peace. It's like I survived the toughest part.
That's all you waiting on.
So now we just talking, and I notice like my restraint is really in my nuts. So I'm like, can we loosen this a tad bit? Because we got about 15, 20 minutes till we get down. So he started loosening it. He like, some more? I said, no, just in case. No, that's it. Because I don't want you to accidentally not drop out. But he asked me, the one thing he asked before he jumped, he said, do you want to pull the chute? I said, no. I don't want to mess this up.
Absolutely.
But after that, you let you maneuver a little bit. And then the last question he asked, do you want to run in or slide in? I got bad knees. Let me slide in.
Yeah.
So I slid in. So I said, all right, I did it. I said, if I ever do it again, it'll be in Dubai. So when my homegirl said she wanted to do it, I said, I'll do it with you.
You know where you want to do it then? I heard a lot of my friends did this anyways. People love doing it in Hawaii.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
so you get to see the whole ocean. You get to see all of Hawaii, and then you just float into your.
See, I don't need to do it no more. I did it. It is scary, but it's an amazing
little nerve-wracking about the ocean. If we get a good gust of wind and go over somewhere in the ocean, I'm like, fuck.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Like the ocean is one of the.
No, that's one of the scariest things.
I love swimming, right? But you gotta understand, like in the ocean, when I swim, I look like a seal. That's done. Like that's it. That's it. Like, they see me, it's just the same shit. I'm not even fucking lying. I was in Hawaii and I was swimming at this snorkeling spot, right? And I felt this shadow next to me. I turned around and it was a fucking seal, like this close to my fucking face. And because I thought it was a shark, and I freaked the fuck out, and it just kept swimming around me. And I looked up and there was another dude. He goes, I've never seen a monk seal come that close to a human before. I was like, I think he thought I was him. And that shit high-key pissed me off. I was like a little offended.
He said, bro.
I love swimming in the ocean. I love going snorkeling, but not where great whites live.
Yeah.
So like Cali, Hawaii, South Africa, all them places, I am good.
You just got to stay close to like the coral area and you'll be fine. Once you start going like deeper, then you'll see stuff. Like people, like my buddies went shark cage diving and shit. I'm good off of that shit, dude.
When I realized the ocean was huge, when we were coming back from Korea to LA, it's a 10-hour flight. It's nothing but ocean. But the fact that really blew my mind, I'm looking out the window, I'm like, wait, we're going 600 miles per hour. And it's still taking 10 hours. That's a lot of water.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you get lost out here, you are, it's a wrap.
Here's the thing. Like, I sometimes just be thinking about crazy shit. And because I'm so scared of heights, I was very scared of getting on planes. And like the only way that I kind of like calm my nerves down, I know this sounds a little crazy. I was like, look, if I die, all you motherfuckers dying with me.
I mean, I
don't give a fuck. None of you surviving. So we'll all die together. Fuck it. But then I started watching shows like Lost and stuff. And I kept thinking, like, could I survive if we landed in an island?
Yeah.
Could I fucking survive? And I don't know if I can.
I think that's the only place I have a small chance.
Anywhere
else, no. But an
Rainforest,
island, since I'm Bahamian, I've been on islands so much, like, and been with dad climbing trees, getting stuff. I know that's not the most survival skills, but I think that's the only place I will be.
You might be okay.
Have some type of confidence.
This is the only thing that, like, if you go down in the middle of whatever, only thing is you like, what's on this island? Because especially if it's a place that nobody's ever explored, you're like, what the fuck is on? I just
you don't want no tribe.
You don't want no tribe. Like, no, you don't know what. Oh, that's the only part you're like, oh, hoping ain't no nonsense.
I'm always scared too. It's like I always think about, like, if you're with a group of people, you know, everybody's always gonna look at the fat person to try to kill him. We just got the most fucking nutrition on us. It's always get so scared. It's like, what the fuck are you thinking about right now? You know what I mean? You see somebody smacking their lips and shit.
I just read a book, and in the book, it was talking about this guy that they got 10 people got stuck on Mount Everest, and
the airplane crashed.
It was like, I think they actually hyped, but it's some crazy storm come in.
Oh, they were climbing on purpose?
Yeah, on purpose.
Idiots.
Yeah. And then
see, I'm not with that. I'm not with the
what
cold
sucks
stuff.
What sucks is his wife and kid was with him. I think his wife and kid died. Everybody else started dying. If a few of them started surviving, but they started surviving, they had to eat like the people.
Oh shit.
Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by ZocDoc. Have you ever been on the hunt for a new doctor and you ask literally everyone you know for their reco? So you call their office, they have an appointment available, but then the receptionist tells you this perfect doctor doesn't take your insurance. So what the heck is going on? Well, wipe your tears, put away the ice cream, and head over to ZocDoc to find and book the doctor who is right for you and takes your insurance. There's a lot of weird kooks out there that want to give you advice about your health, but they don't know absolutely nothing. Well, with ZocDoc, you can find that doctor who actually has amazing reviews with many appointments available within 24 hours. ZocDoc is a free app, my friends. Free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you're searching for. So go to ZocDoc.com/genius and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/genius. ZocDoc.com/genius. Genius Brain listeners, this podcast is brought to you by Fume. Listen, cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better way to break your bad habits, and we're not talking about some weird mind voodoo from your crazy neighbor. You ever have those people who tell you all these solutions to a problem that they don't know what they're talking about? Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Fume. Now, what is Fume, you ask? Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that gives you a better way to break your bad habits. Your Fume comes with an adjustable airflow dial and is designed with movable parts and magnets for fidgeting, giving your fingers a lot to do, which is helpful for de-stressing anxiety while breaking your habit. So start the holidays off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/genius and getting the journey pack today. Fume is giving listeners of the show 10% off when they use my code GENIUS to help make starting the good habit that much easier. Start the good habit at tryfume.com/genius to save 10% off the journey pack today.
He said, I will trek miles because I can't eat my wife and kid. He's like, I can't. And it's him and this other guy. He said, I'll go with you, because they still had like 6 other people that could survive, but they would have to go miles. And there's a chance they won't make it, but he said, I can't eat my wife and kids. And so they ended up, it was a crazy story. They ended up going, they finally found somebody and was able to save the rest of the people. But I'm like, that's a tough position to be in. Like,
oh, I would have ate the shit out of her.
Your wife gotta go. Your wife gotta go, baby. I've been eating you already.
Yeah. I'm 30 minutes in.
That's the only
sees
part
me taking off her sock.
You eat the butt and vagina.
I think 2 lips can hold me over about 2 days. I can hold it down.
There's like a pile of snacks. I just push it aside.
I do like fish. I'm pescatarian. But the funny thing about, like, Will Smith said, the best things in life on the other side of fear. So all the scary stuff I've done have been the most beautiful experiences. The hot air balloon, the skydiving. But like one that kept me was the Great Whites. I never surfed before. I'm like, people always surf out here, but I'm like, I'm not getting bit by it. It's not worth it. So when we went to Bali, they had surfing. They're like, yeah, there's no sharks here and a sand bottom. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, let me try it. It was one of the most fun things I've ever done.
I get it. I say, I get it, surfing white guys. I understand.
So you know what I said? Anything bad that could happen does happen to me. I went surfing. Surfboard flew off of somebody, smashed my nose into pieces. And
Here?
no,
In
it
Cali?
was in Hawaii.
Damn.
And I'm over here just recording. This is kind of cool. I'm like, damn, that board's kind of coming fast. And then there's like a recording of me, and then you just hear me in the water going, oh, what the fuck?
So I know not to do adventurous stuff with you.
My whole fucking eyes are bruising.
Yeah,
up
so we gotta stay away from David.
We just go to eat with David.
Yeah, you just come to eat food.
Yeah.
But the
That's
thing is, like,
facts.
no bad thing happens to other people. I just take all the bad juju. So you guys will just
so
have
maybe
the
we
best.
be good. Maybe bring you with us.
Yeah.
It's a shark. Oh, never mind. He going to David.
We go to David.
You just see me just being dragged.
That's crazy.
But I always survive. I don't fucking know how, but I always get fucked up. There was a similar story too, where there was a plane that crashed on a mountainside, and it was, I think, a majority of people did survive, and they had to slowly cannibalize and eat everybody there.
Sucks, man.
And so they had to keep sending people out to go find help. And I guess like they were kind of at their wits' end at this point.
Yeah.
Nothing they could do. So I forgot who it was that went out and they actually fucking found help, and they trekked over mountains to go find civilization.
We might be talking. It could be the same story. It could have been
disgusting.
It could have been, but it's tough because it's just like,
But it's hard. That's how I look at it, but maybe it's so hard to judge a person if
you
you
can't.
not been that
you can't.
hungry. Because imagine the amount of hunger you have to be and
you're cold.
thinking about surviving to have
Dude, I
to do
skip
that.
lunch and I look at my wife that way.
So you know.
and it's like, if you don't have a fire, are you just raw? You raw dogging? You raw eating?
Well, this is the thing too. Like after they went to town and they rescued everybody else, they found out that they ate people. The whole town's like turned on them. They called them monsters. It's like, but you were never in that situation.
You have no idea what I'm going through. I don't know what's.
And if they didn't do that, and by the way, they were eating the people who had already died.
Of course.
They've already deceased. They weren't murdering them.
It
was just there, and they're like, okay, we have to survive. So they. Yeah, I heard like the people who survived, they were just shitting on them, calling them monsters and creatures. But you weren't in that situation.
Exactly.
You got to go with the meatiest part first. So I'm gonna have to eat some butt, bro. I got to take a little cheek off. Like,
I just got a taste for human aptitude constantly. Just like everybody's walking by, like, God
So you
damn.
get mad when you find out it's a BBL.
I mean, fake butt, man. Come on,
That's
bro.
processed food right there.
Processed food.
That's processed food. Because all these chemicals
All these
and
added
GMO,
sugars. I don't. Go help me
processed
out.
food.
You know what's so trippy, man? Like whenever I go to fucking Florida, right, Miami, it's very seldom I'll never like take off my shirt at a beach. I don't give a fuck what I look like. Miami, I always keep my shirt on because everybody is fucking immaculate out there. They're on steroids.
There's some beautiful
they're
people
buff
out there.
as shit.
Yeah.
BBLs everywhere. I never
yeah.
felt like a piece of shit so much in my life except for Miami. Yeah. Why is everybody so fucking just?
Like, why y'all look
The
good?
funny thing, because you know I'm from Miami, so I think Miami prepared me for Europe beaches. Because
are they fun?
Miami is the only place I know where people just be topless. It's out, and it's not a nude beach. They just be topless, and it's whatever.
Fantastic.
Men be in Speedos and stuff. So when we went to Europe, it'd be full on naked.
Yeah,
there.
they-
Old men,
butt
kids,
ass.
women just naked. And it's just like, it's so normal after a while, you just don't even think about it. Because here, you don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's clothed, but there, it's just so free in Europe.
Let me tell you the wildest thing when we was in Greece. This is how I know I can never rob anybody. If I rob somebody, I would have to be silent. I couldn't use my voice.
Yeah.
We walking in the middle of Greece. We walking, and this is pandemic, so we got masks on, and me and him are talking. We walk past this dude. All of a sudden, I hear, Rome? I said, yeah? He was like, oh, man, I knew I recognized your voice. I said, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. We in the middle of Europe somewhere. He was like, Rome? And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm a fan. Da, da, da. I was like, that is scary. I could never rob anybody and say anything.
It's loud voice people. That happened to me in Japan. We were in Shibuya. And it's fucking Shibuya.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
There's
There's a lot of people at that, especially at the crossing.
Dog, loud as shit. Walking by, they're like, David So? They're like, how'd you know it was me? It's like, I recognize your voice. I'm like, how? How? I wasn't even saying anything. I was thinking words. I heard my thoughts. It's like,
David?
It's fucking obtrusive as fuck. It's like,
That's
damn.
crazy.
That's the same thing that Seal said, David. I recognize your body.
I fucking socked that seal out. That shit was so offensive. This motherfucker stopped for a second. It's like, damn, your limbs are different than mine. That shit was scary. And dog, it's weird. Like when you see creatures in water and it's their element, you feel helpless.
Yeah, because they flowing.
They're fucking doing
You
this.
ain't out swimming it.
This motherfucker's circling me and shit.
That's scary.
You know
That's a little scary.
And so I'm like, oh, what the fuck do I do?
If he decided to attack you, it's over.
Done.
Yeah,
he was gonna fuck me. I don't know which. Either way, I'm pretty much done, dude. I got seal dick inside me.
Seal dick.
That shit's fucking weird, man. What's the next place you guys are gonna go to?
So Brazil is.
Brazil, dude.
Super excited.
I get scared of Brazil too, man. There's all these South American countries that scare the shit out of me.
South America, you can't be
gotta
playing.
be more cautious because, like, you know, Tokyo's super safe and stuff. So when I was hanging out with my homegirls, we were walking down alleys.
Don't
never
matter.
felt, it's just super safe. But Brazil, no.
Let me tell you something. I seen a clip because everybody knows prostitution is literally everywhere, especially in South America, Colombia. This guy was in Colombia. He is insane. He did a clip, and it was
insane.
The title of it was like, your dick can make you do things that
took me places.
He said my dick has taken me places I wouldn't go with a gun. and so you see him in a car. He's filming this. He said, I met a girl going 4 hours out to her place.
Met a girl on Tinder going 4 hours out.
In Colombia.
Don't speak the language. I'm like, you're insane.
In a taxi. So I guess he gets there. He's showing the house. Bro, trap house. It is, you looking like, what is this? Then he shows him coming back. He says, I'm playing music. Her cousin taking me back. I'm playing music just so he can know that we friends. I'm playing music. And I guess he survived. But that is insanity.
No, I'm not
because
doing
too
that.
many variables.
I'm never
you
doing
could have got there, she not there.
Yeah, anything.
How you getting
They
back?
cut you up and that's about it.
And you're never going to find you.
Yeah, they never going to, yeah.
There was these girls years ago who went to South America and they were kind of, you know, it's like the party white girl, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like the American, what we were talking about, where America feels that everybody has to follow our footsteps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But guess what? That's not how it fucking works. So when they were in South America, you guys have probably looked this up online. They were warned by the people in the village, like, hey, you guys are women here. Like, it's dangerous.
Yeah, don't be going, yeah.
Don't go fucking anywhere. Well, these women got kidnapped and they got like brutally like murdered and like assaulted. Yeah. And then, you know, when it first came out, we talked about this on JK News, and I was basically saying, like, listen, the world doesn't follow to your footsteps, like the beat of your drum. If people there are telling you that this is like, well, this is wrong, that's how men treat women. I was like, that's all American shit.
That's American.
That's over there. It's different.
Yeah.
You took your American ideals and you went there and you got fucking killed.
Yeah, you can't do
like,
that.
what were you thinking?
Yeah.
You know? And then people didn't understand that. They're like, oh, you're victim blaming. I'm not victim fucking blaming.
Yeah, no,
I'm saying,
I'm
like,
stupid blaming.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
that's not smart.
That's not smart at all.
If I was out there fucking cheeked up, they would have fucked me too.
Listen,
but even as a man, when I travel, I never say I'm alone. Like when I was in Dubai and he's like, oh, who you with? Like, I'm here with friends. And the whole drive, I'm telling him, yeah, I'm meeting up with my friend today. I'm going to Abu Dhabi today. She told me, as soon as I'm done, call her and tell me about the trip. I'm letting him know. In case he got some ulterior motives. People are looking for, people know I'm here. They're going to be looking for me. Don't try no shit.
Luckily, he was Eastern.
Yeah,
my
he was
family's
cool.
Here.
Luckily, he was cool as hell.
We don't trust none of that stuff. We was in Africa, the blackest place I ever been. I don't trust that shit.
Absolutely.
We walking with our friend, and she's trying to take us to a party, and we look, and she turned. She's like, "Oh yeah, the party's down here at the end." We look down there. It's dark.
No.
We said, I'm not going down there. Fuck you talking? Well, I'm not going down there. We see a dog just sitting down there. Oh, fuck that. No.
It was one light and a dog. Even for the dog, I'm not going down there. Because the dog may turn up.
Doing it. I don't go down places in California. Like, I'm not playing with that. Because these countries don't give a fuck. Like, they're like, I don't care who you is.
We were supposed to go to a wedding in Zacatecas in Mexico, right near Mexico. I think that's near Mexico City. But
the way that sounds like it's typed.
Yeah,
when you say it's typed the way you said it.
So Zacatecas has a resort there, right? It's supposed to be really beautiful. We're about to go. 3 days before, a bunch of tourists got kidnapped and killed. And I'm like, guess what I'm doing? Canceling my fucking shit.
Absolutely.
So we looked up on like the government site. They're like, do not go to Zacatecas. And I'm like, we're not going. But it kind of sucked because I think like my wife's friend was kind of pissed at her. It's like, you're not coming to my wedding. It's like, you went to were you insane?
You just have to be mad.
I'm sorry. You just have to.
I'm not doing that.
And like the people who went there, some of them were Mexican and some of them didn't look. They looked Mexican. Though. It's like, you guys are probably okay. I'm gooky as fuck. Like they're gonna know. And guess who the people who got murdered and kidnapped? It was actually, I think it was a group of like black people. Black Americans. They're the ones that got kidnapped and then murdered. And then the cartel was like, "Oh, we're sorry, we won't do it again." It's like, yo,
the sketchiest thing we did. The sketchiest thing we did was Senegal. So we're taking a road trip, and we're there with someone who's Senegalese. So
that's the only reason we did this.
That's the only reason we did this. So we're going to this thing called the Pink Lake, and it's a lake that's pink. Literally so we like, let's go. So we're driving, following GPS. GPS says turn here. So when we look, it's like a village, like a community.
So we gotta be right on the other side.
So we're like, all right, let's go a little bit and see. When we get in there, we're just going deeper into a community, and it's like getting tight where it's like the houses are right here.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, if it was just me and you wrong, we turning back. But she know the language, and it don't seem dangerous, but it's just like we off the road. We in a village now. So then we get to this point where it's just an opening, and it's just sand. And it looked like it could be like quicksand. But we gotta pass this point to get to the part where you can see.
We can't go back now.
Yeah, where we can see we can drive again. So we sit there 10 minutes just talking like.
Trying to figure out like.
Should we do this? And if we do this, how do we do this? So I was like, obviously we gotta pick up speed. We can't just roll over it. We gotta come back up and pick up speed and go. And 10 minutes, we just sitting there. We like, all right, let's do it. So we back up, we pick up speed, and we going. It's bumpy. We like, just keep going, keep going. And then we finally get through it, and we go through more community, and finally we get out. But luckily, it was all good.
It was crazy. I would never do that without her being there.
And I would never do that in, no offense to anyone, South America, somewhere where it was like, it's just not.
People in South America know too. They're not offended. Like, don't do that.
Or Mexico, none of that.
Or other parts that's just a little more dangerous. But it didn't seem, but it was just like we in the middle of a village. It's like anything could happen.
Did y'all ever.
In a Range Rover.
Yeah, in a Range Rover.
That made it even worse.
I always wondered too, did y'all ever experience like any type of like racism when you guys travel? Because I've experienced it in like Mexico. They're so brazen with their Asian race. It makes me laugh super hard. Like you just walk out, they just go Jackie Chan. I'm like, God damn.
We experienced that. I'm about to say the only racism I experienced, the one I'm giving out. Like when I'm in Africa, I see a white person, I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here. Now you see how I feel. Get out of here.
I see Wheels out there. Wheels, get out of here.
Get out of here, Wheels.
Man, what are you doing?
Roll out of here, Wheels.
I see you trying to look for a fucking wife. Get the fuck out of here.
Our racism we experienced, I would assume, is like the ignorant side of not knowing. It's not like purposeful, but they're like Will Smith, Obama, when they trying to sell me something like that. Like they just say the most famous black person.
Come here, Obama.
But nothing like overt like this straight up.
In China, they'll do that a lot. Like like the biggest thing that I always heard when like a couple of the homies who went there, they always call you like Jordan or Kobe. 100% because they're the most iconic black people.
Bro, I'm not that tall.
They're like, oh, Kobe, and because they love fucking Kobe Bryant and they love Michael Jordan, so they'll say that. Like when I was, because I did mission trips and this, I didn't go for fun. This was like missionary trips. That's a bunch of like poor shit. But moment I land, Jackie Chan. I'm like, crazy. That's bold as fuck.
But what you gonna do?
You
don't
do shit.
You got
Like I got asked for a pitture in Bali, and I got mad after because I said no because it was weird because we were just talking about it. It was just so weird, like picture, and it just come. I was like, no, I'm good, but it wasn't Balinese. It was like Chinese. It was like we was at a tourist spot.
They're thinking that you might be a celebrity,
and I got mad. I was like, I could have charged them. I'm like, the next person that asked me, I was like,
not a Chinese person. They pay for shit.
They had on designer too, so they had money. I could.
You want me to pay?
I'll do it. I'll do it for 100.
I go back to my country. I make a 5 of you right now.
I'll do it for 100.
Yeah, but no, we haven't experienced nothing. Nothing crazy.
I feel like when sometimes when I see other like travel people, they speak about their racist situations. And it kind of more comes off as not hateful. It's just they're ignorant. They don't know. They haven't seen you. Right? So it's just like a new thing. Like I had a friend who came from Korea years ago when I was like in 3rd grade. He was a Korean kid. This motherfucker, every time he saw one black person, he would freak the fuck out. Like it was amazing to him. He's like, oh my God, there's fucking black people here. So he would like come up and he would like pinch like black people and shit. I'm like, hey, yo, chill.
We're not trying to get beat up.
Like, I just want to know if it's different because he's just never.
It's different.
For us, I think it's a respect thing too. Like when I go to a country, I'm trying to learn the basics. Hi, thank you. And like I'm really trying to be in your culture and respect your culture. I look up the rules so I don't offend. Like in Bali, they have offerings everywhere. And they say don't step on those. So like I'm looking up this stuff.
Like you try not to step on.
So I come with respect. So I feel like when they see you trying to be respectful, that No
they
one
appreciate
disrespect
it
you.
for sure, right?
So.
Because I know for me, like when I go to places too, biggest pet peeve is, so this is what I was talking about. Traveling with people that you fuck with is very fucking important. And I traveled with this one girl who fucking annoyed the shit out of me because she was in Japan and she just wasn't with what the Japanese stuff was, like being quiet, not eating while you're walking and shit. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. And she was doing that shit. God,
I hate people like that. I hate people like that.
That shit made my blood boil. I was like, dog, why the fuck do you come here?
Because it's not even that serious. It's just, these are small things. Like, it's not even that serious.
Yeah, it's like you know. Yeah, conversely too, when people come over here and they start doing whatever the fuck, we don't like it either.
Yeah.
That's what happens like in Hawaii. Like people go to Hawaii and they treat Hawaii like it's just another state, but really they got their whole culture, language, history. It's a different beast out there.
So is that why they don't want people coming there? Because that's why it kept me from Hawaii. They'd be like, don't come here, even though I really want to.
You know what it is about Hawaii tourism and what I'm finding out from a lot of friends who are locals. I have a store out in like Waikiki and stuff. And, you know, a lot of my longtime friends are in Hawaii. They don't, it's not like tourism is an issue per se, because I think a lot of the jobs are based around tourism. When tourism dies, and not a lot of money comes into this. It's just how it is. Even if it's fucked up and how they've kind of been destabilized like that, that's what the situation is. The problem is like when people go and they just treat the place like trash. Hawaiian people are very connected to the land, right? They are so connected to the land. They see trash, they pick it up off the floor. Right? You're on a beach, you see a plastic thing start tumbling to the ocean, you'll see everybody come up and grab that shit out. It's not something that's very typical that we see of like American culture. So sometimes when we go to Hawaii, people forget, it's one of the 50 states, but not fucking really. You know?
Yeah, we had a layover there for coming back from Japan. I was like, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I really want to
even
go.
the like in Bali, same thing. Like they don't. It's a big sense of community out there, right? And that's what I think America is missed. Just this community. Like we were driving past a wedding that was going on, and he was like, if we didn't have like stuff on our itinerary, we could have stopped at the wedding because they love everybody to celebrate the love.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was like, we could have stopped in there, and
then he asked us about nursing homes. He's like, we would never.
Yeah,
put our family.
We
Like,
never.
We stay. Our parents stay with us when they're that
or
age.
if they can't take care of them, then the community.
community
like
takes
never
care
will put them in a home or anything.
We
It's like family, the values you learn from these other places. Like America has no like even the food that you think of is not our food. Pizza, hamburgers, what people think is American. It's not our food.
Yeah,
That's
comes from other places too. So
so I'm saying like America is just like an amalgamation of things. Like our culture is like a melting pot, right? And so that's why like cultural identity is very weird. Country identity. So when somebody says, I love America, that definition changes throughout every person, right? When somebody says like in Korea, like Taehanmingu, which is like, you know, your Korean pride, everybody has the same sense of that, right? So they kind of feel that thing. We're very divided. Also, too, our country's fucking huge. You know? California to Texas, those can be two different countries.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Way fucking different. When I went to I was like, there's a big ass fucking state.
Texas is a country.
And it's so true what you say about people, different experiences. You say, if I love America, because when I look at someone hanging American flag, like, what you so prideful? Because that hasn't been mine.
What's that mean, buddy?
Like, I don't know if I want to knock on that door for that.
But that was like during like all this time where people were talking. It was a big conversation in the last few years. Is like, how did it become to a point where somebody would put an American flag and it became something of like, oh, I don't know how this person feels about it.
That's crazy.
That was so trip. I didn't even think about it like that.
It shouldn't be like that because this could be an amazing play. It could be because it's opportunities here, it's like entertainment here, but it's just like.
Yeah, like American values too are very interesting with like family, like you mentioned, right? Like for us, my grandpa lived with us till he was 97 years old, right? And my mom had to change his diapers, did all this other stuff. That's not even her father. That's my dad's father. But my mom took up that mantle to take care of him. Like we had to put my grandma into hospice care because she was getting fed through a tube. So we literally couldn't take care of her. So, but even for her, we couldn't even pull the plug, even though we probably should have, because you got to kill him. You know, it's family. You have to see that. So like I definitely do see this whole thing of like even like Asian families, right? Let's say, I don't know, if I was living in Sacramento, I would probably still be living with my parents until I saved more money.
Makes sense.
They're not charging me. They're not asking me for rent. They're paying for food. They're doing all this other stuff. But, you know, conversely, when I saw some other American families, like, oh, when it's 18, I'm out. And Asian parents are like, well, if you want to buy a home, come live with us and just stay here.
We had it all backwards.
And I saw that in my family too. So like my granddad, he recently passed this year. But before he passed, when I went home for the last Thanksgiving, like me and my brother had to pick him up, take him. Then my mom and her sister, they're changing his diaper and washing him. And I was just like, that whole time, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, you put your family in a home and him not be able to live his last years around love. But I also told my parents, like, y'all just need to start eating better because this whole changing diaper thing, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you mentioned that shit.
Like,
Let me tell you something,
so I put them on better diet. Like, y'all gotta, because my granddad on my dad's side, my last grandparent, he's 93, still walking, still driving. And it's about moving and the way you eat. And just like, in my granddad on my mom's side, he just stopped moving. And then you stop moving, you lose it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got them, like, y'all working out.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, listen, because I lost a lot of weight, right? Yeah. And it was a health thing, right? It wasn't like self-esteem issues or whatever. I just had heartburn and diarrhea every day. I thought that was like normal.
I'm sorry. Motherfucker was a baby. They diarrhea every day.
Hey, you have the symptoms that every medicine says you'll have if you take it.
Like, people will be talking to me and they're like, I have solid shits. I was like, you should probably get that checked out. That shit's supposed to come out as liquid. Y'all didn't know?
You should probably get that checked out.
Yo.
You mean you got a whole turd to come out?
You talking about when it comes out in one piece? What's the sound it makes?
What's the sound?
Every time I hear like people shit in cartoons, I'm like, that's not accurate.
Yeah.
So what did they say was the issue?
For me being fat?
Not. I gave him the alley-oop. Well, like, what was causing only heartburn and diarrhea?
That's the way I eat. So let me tell you how I would eat. Like, so the first thing I had to do was track my food, right? And I'm like counting calories. I don't know what's going on in my body.
Yeah.
Right? And so one day I calculated the food and I had to do it over a week, and it would be up and down, but at the highest I would be eating like 5,000 calories a day.
Golly.
And I didn't even fucking know, because I would just wake up and just start eating, and everybody wants to eat. And, money's good, so I'm like, I'm gonna just go eat. Well, I told the story on the podcast before. I found out I was fat because of my wife. I didn't know. I thought I was chubby. So
he'll tell you how he found out.
I told you, because you don't know. And Cam always asks, how do you not know?
He showed me the picture. I'm like, what you mean?
I'm telling you, don't know. You're inside of your brain.
I'm looking at you like you obese. What you mean?
You know what the problem is? Is like, when you're funny, you can get anything. Doesn't matter. Our rules don't apply to us. So I'm sitting, and then if you've heard the story, I don't give a fuck. So we're sitting, and then I'm eating food. This is a true story, not even a fucking joke. And there's this fat couple sitting next to us, right? And I look at my wife, girlfriend at the time. I was like, look at those fat people. She stops and she looks at me, and I'm like, you're fatter than them. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not fatter than them. She goes, are you kidding? I was like, are you kidding? And we started getting a little argument. I'm like, I'm fatter than them? I didn't know. I was way fatter than them. And so I go home.
The funny thing you didn't tell is that they listened to this whole time. They didn't look. You cut back to them, the camera cut.
And they're like, that fat guy's weird. That's what he's talking about. I go home, and it's like, in my head the whole time, I'm like, am I fucking fat? Like, how fat am I? So, and it went through like a whole process of a couple of months of me accepting that I'm a fat person. Like, I wore my shirts and they were like double XL. I was like, that's because, this is a French cut shirt, so it's be fucking up.
That's a French bread shirt.
What age is this?
Is it a French bread?
What age is this?
This is like 27, 28. Okay. And so then I started blaming like the dryer, right? I'm like, the dryer's fucking up my clothes. So I went through this whole process. And it got to a point where I started walking down the stairs and my titties were jiggling. I started feeling things.
Yeah.
The last fucking straw, I was playing basketball. I tried to cross somebody up. The fucking ball moved, but my body stayed. And it just gone. And I'm like, hold on a second. Am I a fat person? Got on the scale. It said 290. I was like, damn, my fucking scale's broken.
He was in denial.
Mental gymnastics. And then, I finally had this moment where I was like, okay, I think I'm miserable. None of this is fucking normal. Then I started losing the weight, and now it's hard to go back.
It's hard. You can't. You know what that feel like, and you know how your body. You feel so light now. You feel like you can move around.
It's just weird. Like, your body knows what it wants.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Tell them though how you found out.
Yeah, I went to the doctor and with my mom.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Tell the age too, so I asked him his age. So
I was about like 14, 13, 14.
Shit.
Yeah, I was fat as fuck. I went to the doctor.
And that's my caller ID picture.
He's such a friend.
He look like Queen Latifah from Set It Off.
I do. I look like a little lesbian, a full butch. I look crazy. Getting the doctor, and the doctor's like, they go through all the checkups, they weigh and everything. He was like, well, your son is borderline obese. I start crying.
That's my favorite part of the story.
Why the doctor roasting me?
I start crying because, like, in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, this is it. Because
That's so fucking funny.
As a kid, you see people talk about obese, and it's like they got red flags around, like obese, bam, bam, bam. So when he said that, I was like, I'm obese. He was like, yeah, you borderline obese, but what's some things we could do to take care of it? I'm like, I guess I just gotta stop eating. I just went on a run. I was like, we would go to hotels as a family vacation. I wouldn't take the elevator. I would go up the steps. I don't care if we was on the 30th floor.
Man, you were dedicated.
I wasn't playing. I was like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'm not doing, and that bleeds over to my discipline today. So I had it young, but I didn't know that activated it.
That's so
I was
funny.
Like, fuck that.
That's so funny. He goes, "You're obese."
Lock in. Get it together. But I mean, it's crazy.
I even had a doctor, like our family doctor at the time, would tell me I was fat, but I just wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Because she was like Indian too. She had a very thick Indian accent. She was super fucking cool because you just watch it your whole life.
Yeah.
She's like, I remember she was just like, "You have to lose weight," and I'm like, "Why?" She was like, I was like, "Well, what does like the blood test say?" It's like, "Everything is perfectly fine, but you are very fat." And I'm like, "So, but you say I'm okay though?"
Yeah. And then, skip all that.
I would just block everything that she says, like all this stuff, like heart disease. I'm like, "Nah, you said I was fine though. The blood work came out fine, and I'm good." But when you get older, all that shit catches
and that's what people don't realize. That people just say, "Oh, you're gonna die anyway." I'm like, look. You don't want to spend the last 20 years of life in and out the hospital.
It's terrible.
That's just not the life you want to live. So at least, granted, things can happen. That's fine. But maybe try to prevent a little bit. Like
let me ask you this: when you guys talk to about health with your parents, is that shit hella frustrating?
Yeah, of course. At first, I think they started to come around.
But now more information is out. And
my
parents recently went to the doctor and they told them they got to stop eating so much rice. And he needed to. And my dad's a Bahamian man. Rice is part of a Caribbean diet. So yeah, they started doing that. And my dad's like me. He can give up anything cold turkey. Like we want to stop, we can stop. Don't have addictive personality to stop. So he hasn't been eating it. My mom recently called me. She was like, we're getting groceries. I'm about to go to see them for the holidays. She like, and my dad called me, he said, "My mom want to know, am I eating rice?" I was like, "Absolutely, I'm in good shape. I'm eating rice." I want the rice.
I don't know what the fuck you doing. I'm eating rice.
Y'all not eating, but I'm gonna eat the rice.
My parents are so fucking annoying. My dad's annoying, right? Because he's lost a lot of weight recently, but
Brain listeners, wow. This podcast is brought to you by Mint Mobile, my friends. Ooh, Mint Mobile, my friends. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss out on this deal because I can't think of a better gift than turning an overpriced wireless bill into just $15 a month with Mint Mobile. Dude, Mint Mobile's best offer of the year is here for a limited time. Buy any 3-month plan and get 3 months for free. By selling online and limiting the traditional cost of retail, Mint Mobile passes significant savings on to you. Think about all the money you could save, my friend. Stop wasting it away. I know these groceries are expensive out in these streets. Guess what? You don't have to just save money and then lose out on a great mobile plan. That's where Mint Mobile comes in, my friends. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. For a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 months free by going to mintmobile.com/genius15. That's mintmobile.com/genius15. New customers only. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
He was getting like the dad belly or whatever. He's been skinny his whole life. But when you become pre-diabetic, you have to be very careful about high carbs, high sugars. So I come into the house and I found out he was pre-diabetic, and I go in the house. I'm like, "Hey, why the fuck is there so much ice cream in the freezer?" Right? He goes, "I don't eat that." I'm like, "Then why'd you buy it?" He goes, "I don't know. I didn't buy it." I'm like, "Listen here, you dumbass. Who the fuck else lives here?" And I'm getting pissed, right? I'm like, "Don't." He goes, "I didn't eat the ice cream. You could check it. There's not a single spoon out of it. I opened it, half of it's gone." I'm like, I'll fucking kill somebody, dog. I'm like, is he fucking with me right now?
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, he thinks I'm dumb. He's like, "You'll open it right." He was like trying to bluff.
Yeah.
Like, he's like trying to fuck around with me. He's like, "Go ahead, open it, see what happens." Open it, half of it's gone. I'm like, that's crazy. Because I opened up 4 of them. 4 of them, they're all half. All 4 of them. You can't even make a fucking choice.
Yeah.
So I go to bed. And I wake up at night and I hear somebody walking around, and I come outside. I see my dad, and I shit you fucking not. He's like moving around a little bit, and he gets up like a fucking a vampire, like this. I just watch him goes into the freezer and starts eating ice cream out of the thing.
He sleepwalking?
I don't know. So I ask him the next day. This is a grown-ass man, by the way. I go, I saw you eat ice cream last night. Well, you told me you don't eat ice cream. He goes, that wasn't me.
No,
that's...
You're the only other person here.
I was like, I'll sock you right. I'll fucking sock you right now. And he's like telling me this with a straight fucking face. And so I have to get my mom involved. I'm like, why are you guys buying ice cream?
Yeah, you can't bring that shit.
He was like, I keep telling him not to buy it, but he says that he's not eating the ice cream. My mom fucking flips out. She comes out. She goes, are you lying to people now? He goes, I'm not eating it. I'm like, dog, this is crazy. Like, you're sticking with the story.
He in too deep.
He in too deep. Yeah.
He loves fucking ice cream.
My dad too. He would always have ice cream and like coconut cookies after dinner, and so he had to stop that too. But my dad, he can just give it up, so it's good.
It's addictive, like, you know, like I say, we both don't have addictive. We both stopped drinking, like all that. So
this is not a beer. This is water, y'all.
Liquid death.
Yeah.
Wait, so you guys don't drink alcohol at all anymore?
Nah.
October made 2 years for me.
Yeah, and 1 year for me.
What did it was 75 hard. We did 75 hard. So that year, like, I lost 4 family members like back to back. It was just, I was like, so mentally, I was just like, I wasn't like depressed,
exhausted.
but I was just lower than I usually am. I'm like, I need something to mentally get me back. And when he brought 75 hard to me, it is a mental thing. So you can't drink while you're doing that. So after that, I felt so good that I was like, it's not going back. Because, you know, the older you get, alcohol, the last hangover I had, I threw up 6 times the next day. Oh, shit. So I was like, oh, I'm good.
I had a bad hangover last October 1st. After that, I'm never again. I'm done.
That's
I stopped it.
Well, I don't drink that much anyway. So I don't have alcohol in my house. So I drink with people. Right.
Yeah,
so if I go
and that
out,
was me too. I wasn't a big drinker already, so it was easy.
I think like like Tim likes to drink a lot, and I'll drink too, right? But I never get drunk because the repercussions of getting crazy drunk is just not worth it.
It bleeds over like 3 days.
Yeah, you just. Like you're fucked up mentally, you're fucked up, you're exhausted, you're tired. Like the moment is great, right? But if I could have a fun moment without drinking, I'm gonna do that, right? But like Korean culture too, it's like you have to fucking drink, and it'd be so exhausting sometimes, especially when you do like meetings and stuff with other Korean people. They look at you like you fucking killed people and murdered and pillaged if you don't fucking drink alcohol. They look at you like you're dumb, like you're an idiot. And so I started doing this thing where I would take a shot and I would chase it, but I would just spit the alcohol into the cup because it got ridiculous. Because I mean, I'm talking about they're drinking like, I would say like 15, 20 shots in a night. And I'm like, I can't do it. Like, I just physically can't.
It's the one poison that people look at you crazy for not drinking.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, drink this poison.
And I think at this age, your body it just reacts differently. Like, even if I go out now, I need 3 days to recover. Yeah, I'm such a homebody. Like I go out, I'm down for 3 days. Like I need to recover.
We went out Saturday to go visit, see a friend DJ. The next day, I felt like I had a hangover. I didn't drink. I drank water. I said, "Why am I so? I feel like I'm drunk. Like what is going on?"
When I'm forced to go to like club events, I always hate it because my voice gets super fucked up. Yeah, I'm always trying to talk super loud. Yeah, and it stresses me out because the next day I'm just ashy vocals all day. The Kembe Mutombo,
like your shirts.
I sound like the Kembe Mutombo the next day. Hello. Yeah, I'm like I fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's just you can't help but to start changing as you see stuff, as you feel your body. You're just like, all right.
Another thing about traveling, you learn.
Yeah. You just learn. You're like, I think I'm.
And you'd be surprised, like how. I think what I like too about other countries, like you see people walk a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. Like every morning I walk 5 miles.
Walking.
Yeah, so I wake up 8:30 a.m. and I'd walk 5 miles. I had this route that I do just to start my day, and then I go about it because in case I don't work out, at least I got this here. Yeah, you know, and it helps out because I still have bad eating habits. Like it's just like sometimes I see them golden arches.
No,
I just like fuck
stop that.
See, Asia, I gave up fast food too because I felt so good with no processed stuff.
I don't even eat the whole menu. There's only 3 things I eat there: Filet-O-Fish.
Oh, David.
Chicken nuggets. And then the soft serve. Those are the only things I eat there.
I can't even be mad at soft serve.
Yeah, soft serve.
That soft serve is $1, and it is delicious.
I understand. I can't be mad at soft serve, but
I gave up fast food too, man. Like we've been pescatarian 10 years now, so it's just like,
damn, you guys don't even eat any beef or nothing.
So if we're traveling, if it's something like Wagyu, I try the small piece in Japan. Or when we went to Senegal, I always heard how like. You never hear beef described as fresh. That's not a thing you describe beef, but people are like, is this a difference? So I tried a piece of a burger, and I was like,
That shit was phenomenal.
It was weird. It was crazy, but
like a whole
I'll
bill,
do something like that. Not no pork, nothing like that, but I'll try something very small. But yeah, no beef, no pork.
Korean people love pork. That's like our main protein.
Yeah,
there's like we do a whole documentary on that shit. That's how much we love that shit.
And I used to love Korean barbecue. Before we became best, I used to love going.
Yeah,
let's grill it up.
You know, it's a different concept though from like westernized versions of what protein is compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
Like the protein portion is actually not that big.
Yeah.
It's mainly carbohydrates and vegetables and all the other shit.
Yeah.
And then the protein kind of like flavors everything. But now like in Korea, because it's becoming more westernized, you're seeing a lot more fatter people there. So fast food has infiltrated big meat portions. It wasn't like that before.
Yeah.
So a lot of fermented dishes and soups and stews. That's like a majority of Korean food actually.
Yeah.
So like the Western diet creeps in. I saw this documentary where they were doing the case study of what Westernized food does to the rest of the world, and then China's obesity rate went up by 300% within a year, right? Because
they added
all the extra protein with a high carb diet.
The plates are this big.
yeah. That's what always trips me out when I'm out in Japan. I'm like, oh, this is a normal human portion.
This is what
you see different things. Like you'll see eggs on the shelf in other countries.
Yeah.
They're not in like refrigerated. It's just on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe I would eat meat if I lived in a different country that didn't put all, because a lot of stuff in our food is illegal in other countries.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That's crazy.
Maybe I would because it's safer and cleaner, but here I know.
Dude, the eggs in Japan, it was like a dozen, and they don't even have to label it like farm fresh eggs. Yeah. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I cracked open the egg; it's like this golden yolk, and the dozen of eggs was $1.70 or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
So much money saved.
Because I would have to spend $12 to get a carton of their regular eggs. Yeah. It's nothing special. It was just like in a random supermarket right there, $1.70, and it was just delicious.
The eggs over there are so fresh. When you crack them, they're already scrambled.
I know.
You just start eating them right away.
Like, wow, pre-scrambled.
Well,
that's crazy.
It's just a different vibe out there, man. Like, damn, I want to fucking go back.
I advise people, man, travel, man.
Because we were reading the Icky Guy. That's like the Icky Guy books, reading and studying that. So it's just like, once you start feeling better,
I feel like you guys have been on this like journey in the last, like, I would say 6 or 7 years of a lot of like self-improvement.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like, what kind of started that journey? Because I feel a lot of people don't do that, right? We kind of just like coast through life, and then whatever comes. But then to be very active about becoming a better person takes a lot of like energy and effort to do it. So what made you guys start that though?
I know for me, I know the exact point. It's because we moved to Cali in 2013, and when we moved there, we were just in an apartment, and then we moved to a house the following year. And I just remember going there. I was like, I don't want a TV in my room, and I want to read as many books as I can in that year just to improve. I just did that, and the first 2 books I read was 4 Agreements and The Alchemist, and them 2 books changed my life. Like the 4 Agreements changed my mindset, then The Alchemist has changed the way I just look at the world, and then after that I changed my eating habits, and it's just ever since then I've just been, once you start feeling good and things change, you don't want to go back. You're like, what am I going back to? I'm going back to where it wasn't as good. So mentally it's been, and then we become, I guess we call ourselves self-improvement junkies now, because I'm always trying to find the next thing. So, and it could be an Aries thing. We like be challenged, but once you start feeling good and you see how your life changed because of it, it's just, you can't go back.
And the pandemic too, had a lot of time to sit with myself. And so it's like, started reading even more during the pandemic, then realizing like, yo, like our main purpose is like to master ourselves so that we can serve the world better, because I can't take anything with me. So what I can leave is a better impression on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however people, however many people I can, leave a good impression on. Like, and so we could, like, we
recently found our purpose.
Yeah. Like that's
what's funny. Like a month ago, it's funny you said, I think it finally aligned, but
yeah. So we realized like, we just like to raise other people's vibrations. Like we like coming in a room, we realize that's our superpower. Like we get opportunities just off of the energy that we give other people. And that comes from working on yourself. If I didn't work on myself, I can't give that off to other people. And so, we just living in this zone of high frequency, which is the new brand that we're about to be launching. It's called High Frequency, HEYE frequency.
Yeah, sweater was one of the little
it stands was for your third eye. So that's what we call high frequency. But we just realized like it's easier to have a brand when you're living the lifestyle already.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm like, we already doing that. Everything we doing is high frequency anyway, and that's the vibe we want to give off to people. And it kind of just simplified life, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
I don't need a lot. I want to create and give that energy back to people, and hopefully they go and do something, you know.
I mean, that's the thing too, right? Like, I feel, you know, we live such a high-paced life for such a long time that when you kind of stop and slow things down, you get to really pick apart the things that aren't important anymore, right? And then you just take it and you throw it away, and you don't need to look back. I think the hard part for a lot of young people is that you guys live a life of comparison too much. And the thing that you guys never get to realize until you're older or it's too late is that you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think about that. Your mortality really starts to put things in perspective. It's like, okay, like I'll say this too. One of the worst habits that people have is that you have people in your circle, you just had them around just because they were there. But they need to earn their place in your life. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? So like they'll bring like this person that they don't like and like, oh, they've always been in the group. Just let them hang here. Why? They shouldn't be here. Like if they fuck up everything.
They're draining you.
Yeah, take them out.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing too. Like that's where I think it's very smart. It's like, okay, let me just figure out where my place is, and then this is the goal, and I'm going to stick to it.
And whoever attaches to it, that's.
And I'm too old for that. Like, if I'm around someone and I feel bad every time I leave them, you don't need to be in my life. But if I come around someone and I always feel good after it, that's why we rock with you. Like you call us, we coming. I always say, David.
Only a few people we definitely dropping everything. We
so like,
for sure.
I'm an energy guy. Like I just go by energy, and if you just bring negativity around me, I'm too old. I don't like drama. I didn't deal with drama in high school, so I'm gonna deal with it as a grown man. It don't make sense to me.
People just love negativity.
I watch what I watch too. Watch what I consume. I don't be watching like the Love and Hip Hops and I don't know anything about Blueface, and I don't even know how to pronounce the girl name. Because I'd be trying to stay away from it. Like.
That's the hard part too. I really agree with that. Is like sometimes when I have to do podcasts, I have to talk about these hot topics.
For sure,
and then I talk about it, and as I talk about it and I'm researching, my brain starts to melt.
It's
just like, yo, like the whole like I haven't done a podcast on the Blueface and Krishan, right? Yeah. It's just because watching that shit makes me feel like a bad person.
Then you become judgy. Because you can't help but to judge it. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people don't know this. I almost was thinking about stepping away from our pod because there's a lot of hot topics. And it was one point I was like, I was in a zone where I was watching everything I consume. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this because a lot of things they want us to talk about is the stuff I don't want to watch.
Yeah, and then, you know, people will suggest certain things like, oh, did you hear about this? It's like, I don't want to talk about this because there's a couple of things, right? I don't ever feel good about this. Number two, I don't fucking know. And so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and observe and then learn. Because so a lot of people now, it's like how media is. It's not about knowing things and being correct. It's about who gets to say it first. And I dislike it so fucking much.
Another thing, like with social media, I always tell people, why are you arguing on social media? Because
thing to me.
No one wants to be wrong in the public eye. So even if you're right, they're not going to admit that you're right. So it's a endless argument that's going to keep going on forever without any conclusion. So I tell people, like, criticism doesn't bother me. I only care about the people I care about, of course. They say, but someone, a stranger I don't know, because most of the time, any of that criticism they said to you, I've never had someone say it to my face. And not in like I'm trying to fight somebody, but no one comes up to you in your face and tells you these things that they tell you when they're hiding behind a screen. So why does it put so much weight on your life and you let it affect you?
100%. Even like really good advice that I got from somebody was like negative and positive comments are both bad. Because you're still dictating how you behave and the things that you do based on what other people say. So just don't read it at all. Like even if they say something great or nice about you, guess what? That opinion can change the next day like that.
Read it like Japan. Oh no.
No. Unless you're the Japanese hamster. That's what I call your sexual assault person. The Japanese hamster.
Until someone like, you want $1 million?
Yeah, but I think it's just it's a part of growth, man. And it's just like, am I going to live the rest of my life not getting better? That don't make sense to me. So let me just get better now and live the most fullest, fulfilled life that I can live, and that at least people could be like, you know what? He enjoyed, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and this type of connection is really smart too, right? Especially like the stuff that you guys have all built, because a lot of the times people will do something where they'll connect with people through negativity, right? So they'll find a common enemy, and then you guys will just talk shit about that person all fucking day. And then guess what? That enemy will disappear one day, and then what are you left with? You're left with no connection. There was no bond here, right? Like all that hateful shit stays at hateful shit. Nothing grows from it. It's fertile soil. Nothing will grow from this. And so like sometimes like I'll do a podcast. I'm roasting people. This is what we do. We roast, and they go, "Oh, I fucking hate that." I was like, I actually don't hate that person. Like, I think you guys got something twisted here. We're making jokes. Yeah, you know what I mean. And if they are not involved in the joke, then they don't get made fun of. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer that certain blessings come on certain frequencies. So that's why I'm always trying to raise it or stay at a certain place, because it's like I realize when I am in a space where I'm like doing everything, watching what I'm consuming, eating right, I just start getting blessed. Like when I did 75 hard. So many blessings and opportunities just came out of nowhere from doing this, like this travel thing. Like I was getting checks out of nowhere that just out of random, like, oh, this is residual for something. And I was like, every time I'm in this space, good things happen. So why wouldn't I try to stay there?
It's also like that power of like positivity. You know, sometimes, and this might be that church thing, right? It's like when you don't look for God's blessings, they'll never be there, right? You can always pick out the negative things in your life, and if that's all you focus on, that's all you will see. Think about it. I know this is a stupid comparison, but like, you know, when you just buy a new car, right? And then all of a sudden you see your car everywhere. It's the same shit. You become very aware of the stuff that you put your time and attention into. And so, like, one of the things that kind of gets on my nerves with some people is just like, they always say, I have bad luck. It's like, you don't have bad luck. I say I have bad luck as a joke, right? You don't have bad luck. Bad things happen, and you place your focus on this so much. There's so many great things that happen, right? Like I said, it probably is a church thing that I grew up with, right? It's like that idea of always looking for the opportunities in life and kind of just being very grateful. And the graciousness will take you super fucking far.
Super far. It's hard. It's hard to be. It's hard to be upset when you're grateful. It's hard to be upset when you are writing down the things you're grateful for. When you're around people that practice gratitude, like it's like, you know what, I ain't really got nothing to be upset about. Like this.
And this is what I like about being an adult too, because I remember when I was in high school, if I said the word grateful, people assume I'm gay immediately. Like, yo, I remember back when we were young.
Like, I didn't say gayful. I said grateful.
Yo, back in the day, if you said anything positive, like fucking gay, dog, I'm like, damn.
It's like, come on, bro.
That's why it's part of my morning routine. Like my morning routine, I write 10 things I'm grateful for. And what's funny, like, say you wake up in a bad mood or just low energy. By the time I get through my routine, I'm good. And I'm like, I live my life where I'll try something, and if it works for me, it works for me. Like, it's been things I try, like, that ain't really for me. But I encourage anyone, just try it. And if it fits in your life and for your mind and your body, your spiritual, your mental, do it. And that's what my routine does for me. So, like, certain things I do, it just sets my day, it sets the tone for my day, because I feel like that first 5 minutes is so important. Like, most people, you can choose to be happy, but a lot of people just let that one bad thing happen, and it just takes up their whole day.
And you know, before we end too, I learned that from my mom. It was like, my mom always told me, she was like, I don't ever want to hear you complain about work, because no matter how poor we were when we grew up, I've never went to work hating my job. And I look back and I was like, oh, that's right. I never heard her say, I hate working at the store. She never did. And we went through some tough shit. She was like, I was just grateful because I can make a living. I could feed you guys, even though we didn't have a lot. This is more than other people have. So like, don't ever wake up in the morning thinking that you don't have enough. Like, you always have more than you need. It's just like, if you live a life of comparison, you'll never, ever have enough. It's always looking to somebody else's pockets, right? Like, oh, what did this person have? What does this person? Who the fuck cares, man?
That's why they say it's the thief of joy comparison.
The realest 100%. Thing I heard, I know we better get out. Realest thing I heard was they're talking about how we pray for strength from God. We pray for strength, but we get upset when the training comes. And I was like, that's real, because like, you pray for strength, but then like when the thing comes that's testing the strength, you're like, what you doing? And you're like, well, you pray for strength. This is how you get strength. You can't say, hey, trainer, I need you to train me to get strong and show it to the gym. Why the fuck you training me?
Like that. Well, you'd be like me. Sometimes God gives you signals about how fat you are. Just go.
You're like, oh, there we go.
Let's fucking block him.
No. He didn't give you signals. He sent you a seal.
Even the seal was like, hey.
He tried every way. He's like, maybe the seal will do it.
He's like, David, look, God told me, hey, I'm trying to let you know.
Like, are you serious?
He's like, I need the translation app. He's not understanding me.
I went up to seal. I was like, hey, he just goes, fat. Oh shit. Well,
that's
guys, promote that.
Yes. High frequency. I'm pretty sure it'll be out when this comes out. Highfrequency.com. You can grab
Embrace
your
change.
Yeah. We got
a mantra.
Yes, our Embrace series, and the mantra reads, we believe to create change in the world, you must create change within. So if you want to create change within and embrace change, tap in with us, man. And
these shorts are part of it too.
Shorts are part of it.
All kinds of stuff.
we want you to actually, when you wear it, feel like, you know what? It's a reminder every time. Like something bad happened, let me embrace the change. You're going through a healing issue, let me embrace healing. Let me embrace joy, and we hope that it can help somebody out. So
I love that stuff. Also, remember, once again,
Shady Side Up.
Shady Side Up. The best way to support your favorite content creators is to kind of buy and support the things that they create. So check them out. Obviously, Dormtainment. You guys have the Comedy Trap House.
Trap House. Yeah, we got Boss Talk podcast.
Boss Talk.
Yep, and then Shady Side Up. High frequency, just working.
Cool. We'll check it all out. Genius Brain every Sundays at 12 p.m. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.